James, another drawn game in the end. How did you see it?
Yeah, disappointing. Obviously, we always want to win our games, especially at home. I thought we started pretty well and then, lost away a bit in the middle. They've obviously got quality. They're always going to cause you problems on the break, which we could have defended better. And we had chances, really, that we didn't take.
You started the game so well, didn't you? So much pace, so much intensity. Could you believe at half-time that you had nothing to show for it?
That's football, that's the Premier League. It's always going to be tough. You're coming up against organised teams with quality, teams will try hurt you on the break as well. They've got a lot of, they're well organised, but they've got a lot of very good individuals as well who are unpredictable, obviously, and caught us on the break. It's disappointing, but ultimately the main thing is that at least we're creating those chances. I think if you're not creating anything, that's obviously a bigger problem. We're creating them, we need to take them. But it's not the ideal start to the season, but we need to keep playing. The way we started and finished the game, really. I think obviously the reaction going down to 10 man was very, very good. The crowd helped us out as well, and obviously Lucio scored an incredible goal.
Let's touch on the red card for Nunez, if we may. As senior players, do you feel you can have a responsibility now, perhaps to help him to understand the gravity of what went on out there?
Yeah, well, I didn't see the incident. Obviously, he's going to be disappointed with that, and it's down to us to get around him and rally, and obviously, I'm sure he'll learn from it. But, I think the reaction was the most important thing. The team reacted very, very well, and the ground reacted very well, as they always do. They got right behind us, and, we could have nicked a winner. It wasn't to be, but, we move on.
The incident almost seemed to galvanise everyone after that point.
Yeah, and that's what good teams do. They get together with disappointments and you stick together. We've got a great team spirit at the club, and you don't have to say too much about the fans there. They're obviously incredible and always get behind us, especially when things are tough. And they did that, and we rallied. It was disappointing not to get the winner, but I think the reaction was incredible from the boys, 10 men, and kept pushing. And like I said, it's not the ideal start, but you see that the readiness for the season there. It's obviously a long season. It's not the start we would want, but you see the fight there, and we've had a week of tough things that's gone on, and preparation hasn't been ideal. So I think it's disappointing, but you see the fighting spirit was there, and no one can deny that. We fought to the end.
That's sending off on his full debut, on his first game in a red shirt at Anfield. What went through Darwin Nunez's mind?
Well, we don't know. We saw Anderson pointing at him after the incident. I don't know what was going on. You could see him there, having a little knock at each other. And then once this goes in, he says something to him. And then, that's the reaction. And the thing with it is that I was surprised simply because Liverpool, that's not what they're about. They're not about reacting and doing it. So it's something he's going to have to learn quickly, because he obviously was very frustrated with the way it went. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that Anderson's gone down for nothing. Look, he's tried to do that there. That's what it was. He's tried to put his head into him, and he's saying to him, "Hey," and so now he's pushed him, and I can't see where the actual heads hit the face, but at the same time you can't react like that. And Liverpool can't have players reacting like that, and that's why they've not had players reacting like that, because it means so much to them to be able to stay on the pitch against a very well-organised Palace side that are very dangerous on the break.
Yeah, terrific point for Palace. Let's go back to Anfield. Eberechi Eze is waiting to speak live to us. Ebs, good to see you. Well done. Are you disappointed in some ways you didn't get all 3 points the way you played tonight?
Yeah, for sure. I think we've worked hard today. We could have nicked it in the end, but coming to a place like this, we've worked hard and give it our all, and coming away with a point is a good result.
Do you think the way it was set up, you knew you was going to have to do a lot of work? Was the chances? I thought Wilfred had a couple of good chances. Do you feel that you deserve to win the game with the chances you created?
I think it's difficult because they've obviously had chances as well, and they produce a lot of chances. But again, playing here and at the stadium, it's difficult. It's not easy to come and play your football. So to come in and get a point is big for us.
Eberechi, it's Michael Owen here. Congratulations, good performance by yourself and the team. Just talk me through the touch, the way you broke free and then laid on your teammate for the goal. Not a bad place to do it at Anfield.
Just sit here.
There you go.
Yeah, I just saw the space in between them and knew that Wolf would be getting him behind and playing him through. When he's in those types of areas, he's dangerous. So that's the mindset, just to create as much space for him and for myself, play him through, and it's a great finish from him. Was you surprised that he dived in on you like that? Did you feel like that was quite easy for you? Yeah, I don't know what he was expecting me to do, but I think me touching the ball, getting him in between both of them, it created so much space for me. So it made my decision quite easy.
And the counter-act today, the counter-attacking player, I presume that was a tactic as well, playing against the high line of Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%. They obviously play a high line, and the aim was to get on the ball and to beat a player, and that it open up the space, and in behind it's going to be runners. So I think it worked well today for us.
And just finally, Ebbs, what does it do for belief that you've gone to the team that had the best home record all of last season and put a performance in and get a result like that?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's big for us. Again, going into any game now, we know that we can play against the best in the league, and that's a huge performance for us.
Very well played tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Nice
Appreciate
one.
it.
Nice
that
one.
is the
Peace. Give us your thoughts on what you saw tonight.
Really good start in the game, exactly what we wanted. A lot of football, the kind of football we wanted to play. A lot of desire. We wanted to put it right. All this kind of thing was all there. Unlucky in situations. Of course, the game plan for Palace was obviously defending deep and then going for counter-attacks. We gave him that, in the end, 2 opportunities, but the first one, proper one, when we should have won the ball, obviously. Protection was actually right. We were the 2v1 situation, Trent and Fab there, and then I think Essa still gets out there, or whoever it was, and that should not happen, and then it's difficult in the last line with the speed of Zaha. But second half again, started a positive start, and then getting the red card. I saw it now back. That's of course a red card. Even though it's provoked all the time, but that's not how he should do it. How he should behave, and but then 4 minutes later, I think the equalizer, and then massive game from us against with 10 men, putting such an effort. The pitch stadium was there. Was honestly the real feeling I have in the moment is I'm proud, to be honest, because everything went during the week against us. It was crazy. It was like a witch was in the building. Everybody told me every time somebody else had problems, and then putting such a performance, especially with in the circumstances, I'm really proud of that.
We'll come on to the red card in a moment. You were so dominant, however, in the first half. What was your message to the players at half-time? Was it just more of the same?
Yes, but it was not the complete first half, at least as we saw it. It was like the first 30-35 minutes maybe, and then we started playing a little bit around. But that's actually when you play against a 5-4 and you play these passes into the half spaces, so then that makes no sense. There they have the better chance to win the ball. They only have to clear it, and we have to control it. So we needed again more direction, get in behind this line of 5, and there we were really strong. And that's how then we could pick up second balls ourselves, and that's what was the message.
The red card for Nunez in the second half. How much in the end did he let his teammates down?
Look, he knows that now himself, and I will talk to him. It makes no sense when I talk now too much about it in public. You see it; it's absolutely not the reaction you want to see. The challenge in the centre halves and the Premier League will do that to him. They want to have him. He's a handful himself, and that's not a reaction.
Perhaps most importantly, how will you as manager manage him now going forward through this?
Yeah, there's no time. We get now another pre-season. I don't know exactly how long he will be suspended, but that's a situation, and so we will use it for physical work, not as a punishment, just to make him even stronger, and that's what we will try.
The way you got back into this game, perhaps it needed a special moment, such as the goal that Diaz scored, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Lewis played a super game, and then especially after the goal, he played for 3-4 players. It was unbelievable. He was nearly not to stop, and how I said, it was super intense game, and then with 10 men, you have to defend. Especially we didn't play the 4-4-1 if we want. Meant for him, Lujo defends the wing, where they try to cause us problems with the long balls there, and then picking up the other second balls. So incredible goal, and of course we needed that. Then we had, I think, from the edge, 2 nice opportunities, one with Fabio and one with Mo. A bit unlucky there, but in the end it's a point that's not exactly what we wanted before the game, of course, but after this game, as all the things happened, we have to take it, and that's what we do.
On the plus side, what do you think of the contribution of Javier tonight? Top game. I saw so many really good performances. It's a really tough game, and especially for a technical player like him, and constantly in these kind of tight spaces, freeing yourself and these kind of things, he did really well. How much
of a concern is 2 points from 2 matches, especially given the way you performed tonight?
It's not the start we wanted, but that's the moment actually my least of my problems, because well, I said we have our own situation. It's really tricky in the moment with injuries and players with the little things and how you manage them and all these kind of things. So we have to use the next week to maybe bring 1 or 2 back. I'm not sure if we can do that, but now we lost Darwin today. That doesn't help. But Bobby might be ready for next week again. So yeah. It's not a concern. It's just a start. In the end, if you have 2 points in August and it's in May, then it's difficult. But now, in the moment, it's fine.
Appreciate your time.
Of course, it's a trip to Old Trafford next for Liverpool to face Manchester United. He said he needed something special to make it 1-1. It was. Yeah. And it wasn't the only thing that Diaz did all night, was it?
No, he's a special player. He's joined the club and he just looks at home in that red shirt straight away. First game he looked at home. And this was just brilliant. It was almost like when they went down to 10 men, he thought, right, I'm going to take the game by the scruff of the neck myself, and I'm going to, play as if I'm worth 2 players. And he certainly did. I mean, he beat a few players here, whacked it into the cop end, give everybody a bit of belief again. But he's such a super player, energy, in and out of possession, and he can score goals. He needs to add goals to his game as well this season, and that's a good start.
It was always going to take something special like that because Palace was so organised. I thought that's what I was thinking with Nunez in the first half. I didn't think he linked the play very well. I didn't think he got Liverpool into areas like that where they could get that kind of space and maybe have a shot like that or get the ball in through midfield, which I think they're struggling with at the minute. Harvey Elliott didn't have no space to really move in. To try and play the ball into areas where they could commit players in the middle of Palace, like between the centre halves and midfield, and force their way in and make those kind of chances. So it was going to take something like an individual goal like that for them tonight, because everything with Liverpool has to go out wide. And without Thiago, we see when Thiago's not playing, they're not as potent. And they need that midfielder to continue to get the balls into areas where they commit players. And that's what they missed tonight.
It was interesting to hear Jurgen Klopp talk about Darwin Nunez there. They say a week is a long time in football. He came off the bench and made an instant impact at Craven Cottage, as we talked about before the game. But then, let's be honest, all round, his full debut at Anfield tonight was something to forget, wasn't it?
One to forget, Steve, definitely. His link-up play, as Wrighty touched on, was average. I think he was on his heels there. He's got to come and show for the ball. We know that he likes getting on the shoulder of the last man, and that's fine, but a lot of the time, when the ball's not ready to come in, you've still got to show yourself, and you've got to be you've got to have a contribution to the game, Righty.
Well, the thing is, I think here, it's one of those, maybe you put off a little bit, but you've got to do better with that. This one, like you said, Mike, he's got to try and chest that and go towards the goal. He's got to open himself up. Again, with this one, he's kind of miskicked it for me there. He's tried to lay it back in. It's a little bit too hard. I think it was one of those days for him. And here you can see him. He's gone to force his head back into him. He's getting frustrated. Like the manager said, he's getting provoked. For me, there you just can't do that. Whatever we think of Anderson's reaction there, you can't see any real contact. But it's an aggressive kind of manner he's showing, and you just can't do that there. And so, he's got sent off. And what the saving grace is that Liverpool didn't lose the game, because they're going to lose him for 3 games now. This is straight red. So it's something that he'll learn. He'll learn that in the Premier League they will try and provoke him.
Learn fast as well,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Liverpool's record has been exemplary over the years.
Just to put it into context, since Jurgen Klopp took the job at Liverpool, all the permanent teams in the Premier League, fewest red cards for Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. That's why he's so annoyed in that interview.
And it's no coincidence, really. Going down to 10 men, I've been there before. It's very, very difficult, and even at home, even with the momentum of getting the equaliser, it's very difficult to play against a team of the quality of what we see today and what we see in the Premier League in general. You can't give teams big advantages like that. You simply can't. If you want to go and win the league, when tiny little details are really important, you can't be. And now it's 3 games. When they've got injuries already. Not good enough, and I bet you he learns quick.
I think with that as well, Mike, is that to see that kind of sending off, I think that's why I was so shocked. I was quite shocked because no Liverpool player reacts like that. You could see with the top teams, you might get a defender that might be unlucky, makes a couple of mistimed challenges and he gets sent off and then they restructure their side. But you don't see people petulantly, doing what he's done. You know what I mean? Myself, I didn't get sent off too many times, but there's some of the times you really do have to catch yourself in the moment. And that's what you don't see from top teams, a top player being that petulant to get sent off, and you don't see it at Liverpool. You don't really see that kind of stuff at City. You don't see it at the top teams because they know how important it is to keep those men on the field so as you can win the game.
OK, let's now hear from the man who put the plan together to get Palace a point. Here is Patrick Vieira.
Patrick, you must be so pleased with that performance from Crystal Palace and your players.
Yes, I was really pleased because it's not an easy place to come, and we defended really well as a team. We were prepared to suffer. We suffered, and I think in our counter-attack we were quite good. More the games was going, and more we were getting dangerous, and we needed a big team performance, and we had it tonight.
You had that big team performance. You silenced Anfield, and the control and the composure that Wilf showed for that opening goal was incredible.
Well, this is his strength. I think when we managed to win the ball, he ran in behind, and the timing of his run was really good. And Wilfried is a goal scorer. He can score goals, and today he could score more than once. But overall, we needed a big performance, and that's what we had today.
You were under pressure for such large parts of the first half, but that goal just changed everything about you.
Yeah, but when you come into these places, you have to accept that you will go through a difficult period. It's all about how do you manage that difficult period, and I think today we did it really well. The first 15-20 minutes, half an hour was tough, but we were really composed, we were really calm, we were really disciplined, and the organisation that we had today helped us to perform well.
Team in the second half, right? Was it just composure that was missing from Palace in front of the goal?
Yes, because they know, and you heard Eberechi, Eze say it, Patrick say it there, you're not going to get a lot of the ball here, you're going to suffer in this game, so you know that Wilf can cause him problems. I thought he'd done very well. He played off of Matt Phillips, and he was when he gets into that kind of situation, he's very, very dangerous. And I think here he's just got to let that come onto his left foot and just slot that and just cushion it in. Mike, he's made a good run on the back, and he's trying to finish it with the most difficult part of his foot, the outside of his foot. And when you consider how much of the ball they had, 27% of the ball, it was again, that's a great chance, but he's stretching. You consider those chances are very good chances for a team that's had that amount of possession, 27%. So, in the end, of course you take a point from Anfield, but, you look back at him, I'm sure Wilfried Zaha will look back and say, probably could have scored 2 more goals there.
Yeah, and lots of positives for Palace to take forward from that tonight.
Well, they've had a hard start. Arsenal at home and then Liverpool away. To get a point, I bet you their fans are quite pleased with that, but more pleased with the way they've played. Going to Anfield, they can go to anywhere in the country now and be confident of getting a result after that performance tonight. So, yeah, fair play to Patrick Vieira and his team. He set them up well. They executed the game plan. A little helping hand from Liverpool and their new boy. But on the whole, I think they did deserve their draw.
When you said you didn't get sent off that too often, it was 4 times, actually.
4 times. It's not bad in 16 years, no. You know what I mean? I'll take that.
No, not when you played on the edge like
exactly.
that.
Always on the edge.
Liverpool, as Michael says, though, already the margin for error is diminished.
Yeah, but we know that if any team can come back and chase down a Manchester City like they've shown in the last few years, then it will be Liverpool. They'll get it going. They'll get it right. But, teams at the moment, I wouldn't say that Liverpool are weak, but they're a team at the moment you can, if you stay deep, without Thiago Silva creating, without Nuno, with Firmino, the people are, like we saw what Fulham are doing, closing down the spaces. They're making it more difficult for them, making it more difficult for Liverpool. So they're going to have to get through that, get their confidence back. You saw what the crowd were like. The crowd are amazing. And they need to, for me, the Man United game's a game. It's a must-win game for them because you'll have to fancy Villa. You have to fancy City, whoever they're playing, the form that they're in. So, yes, it's only 2 games, but, the way City are and Liverpool know what it's like having to chase them, they're going to have to get a couple of wins on the board soon.
Some game next Monday.
It is, and the problem at the moment, the bar is so high that draws are like defeats at the moment for those top teams, so they need to bounce back against United.
Gentlemen, as always, thank you very much.
Hello and welcome to another Footballista video, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Chelsea versus Tottenham game which happened yesterday, and the result was 2-2, but the game was a classic derby. There was a lot of fighting in that game. So when the game started, Tottenham really came out dominant. They were really playing well for the first 10 minutes, but then Chelsea switched on and they completely controlled the game. Their midfield was playing really well, because of which they were able to control the whole tempo of the game and they were controlling everything. And also their right wing back, who was Ruben Loftus-Cheek, was playing really well. He was really well going forwards, and defensively he was great too. So because of all their great play, Chelsea were rewarded with a corner from which they scored. Koulibaly scored the goal. He scored with an amazing volley, and then completely the first half was dominated by Chelsea. They were controlling everything in that game, and after the first half ended, Conte realized he needed to change something if he wanted to take anything out of that game. So after the first half ended, in the second half, Conte made some changes. He changed the system. He went to 4 at the back, and he brought on Richarlison, and Tottenham eventually scored, even though they scored in controversial, because according to Chelsea, Kai Havertz was fouled on the build up to that goal, and during that build up again Richarlison was offside because he was blocking Edouard Mendy's view from the shot. Edouard Mendy was late to react to that shot because Richarlison was blocking his view, so he should have been given offside. But VAR reviewed both of those incidents and deemed that it was not a foul and it was not an offside, so the goal stood. So then Chelsea again switched on and they started attacking, and eventually they scored by Reece James, who was assisted by Raheem Sterling. So after that second Chelsea goal, it looked like Chelsea would close the game completely and they would come out with a win. And during additional time, in the 96th minute, another incident happened during a corner in which Sergio Romero was pulling on Cucurella's hair, and they won a corner again, from which they scored. The VAR reviewed the incident and again deemed that it was not a foul and the play should continue, and the goal stood for Tottenham and the game ended at 2-2. After the game ended, there was a fight between Antonio Conte and Thomas Tuchel. They shook hands, and during that they had a fight. They exchanged words, and after that Anthony Taylor showed them both straight red cards. They were already booked during the second half. During an altercation, they were both given yellow cards, but after the final whistle, they were both given straight reds again, and there will be some action also taken by the FA on both of those coaches. So let's see what will happen. So that's it for this video. Goodbye.